welcome to the I Ran Out of Things to Say podcast. I'm your host, Vincent, and I'm joined with Cody. Yeah.
Hey, I still love you.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So, we've been gone for a while. Like, a long while.
Long time.
It's been over a month.
There's been jobs going on.
And a half.
There's been jobs going on. There's been issues.
There was an election.
Elections.
Okay, I just want to kind of cover this, since the fact of, like, we're not a political podcast by any means. So, Donald Trump became president. Do you remember, and we'll just flashback to our podcast with Marty. Yeah. So, yeah, when we talked to Marty about that, and we were like, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow that happened.
There's money being thrown around, and all of a sudden, things are looking good. I don't know.
Something about Russian dressing or something.
I don't know.
I don't know. I was reading comics and being excited about a bunch of new movies coming out.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
We missed you.
Feels so damn good.
Not to mention, we'd like to thank the fans who decided to listen right after the beginning of the year. January 3rd.
Looking for a new hope.
Exactly. Sorry you found us.
Looking for a new hope.
I couldn't believe that when I saw those stats.
Yeah. January 3rd.
January 3rd, out of all places.
I mean, we didn't get that many, but we got like three times as much as, probably more than three times as many listeners as we got. I bet everybody's podcast was just blowing up that day.
Must have been. But I'm fine with that because we had people from Finland, we had people from Sweden, we had France, we had the UK, we had Australia.
Yeah.
Dude, we went global.
Well, for a day.
No, for like a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. A week worth of downloads. Just that one day was a fucking spike.
Damn.
And then we got some other great news, which we will be talking about later on down the road.
Yeah. It's official. I'll just say that. It's official.
Yeah,
We've already talked about it, but it's official. If you've previously listened, you'll know what we're talking about.
Dude, I cannot believe that.
Yeah.
To me, that...
I at least want to tell the audience that it's official. Like, now it's official.
Dude, it's so surprising, too, because apparently we would have had it for a while.
No.
Yeah?
Or wait, we would have?
Yeah, it'd been back in November.
Yeah.
But we were on a hiatus, so we didn't get to... Oh, man, I could not believe that. So, there's something I want to bring up. It's a new year.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that our podcast...
We did it right at the right time, dude.
Yeah, we did.
We got all of our, like, errors out of the way, just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of the way for a brand new year.
Exactly. And
now
that
we
means
can just
that...
kill it, dude.
And this podcast, it'll probably be available probably on the 22nd.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Issues going on. We've had a lot of...
Like a little bit of setbacks. That just kind of...
setbacks. Like,
but,
a lot of setbacks.
But you know what? That's all we could do is, work through it. And that's what we did. And you know what? It benefited us. We had time to reflect. We had time to think about the way the podcast is going. When we first started this podcast, we talked about the idea of, we were gonna cover all these different genres and stuff, and we really fell in a rut of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine, it's nerd culture. But at the same time, it's not what defines us.
No, not.
I mean,
I mean, it is, but that's not everything.
Exactly.
That defines us. I mean, it is what defines us, because that's like the first interest we had when we were 7.
Exactly. It is. And that's what I'm getting at, is that it's a big part of our lives, but at the same time, when we took the hiatus, I did a lot of thinking, okay?
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Yeah. The thing is that I want our listeners to know that we're more than just two guys talking about comic books.
Yeah. I mean, we cover other stuff.
Yeah.
We have and we will. It's just, we're in this weird moment this past couple months where...
Well, I think it really boils down to is that this has been last year was a very interesting time for comics.
Yeah.
Because of the fact of a lot of the movies were getting released and stuff. Mm-hmm. No, you'll have to forgive me, guys. I'll be sniffling and coughing, so I apologize for this podcast.
Yeah, he's a little sicky poo.
Yeah, that's another thing. So, I gotta keep my voice as good as possible. But at least now I don't have to be, selling things on the phone all day.
Yeah.
So, 2017, do you know that there's supposedly 69 movies coming that are comic book related?
69 movies 69. That are comic
69
in 2017.
Supposedly.
No.
This is what I've been reading, okay? This is what I'm getting at is that there's been so much stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Okay? Last year,
69 movies all across the board maybe.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. 69 comic book movies.
What?
Yeah, dude. Okay, I'm going to read them off. Now, they're not all going to be major big screen ones.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. So you got Batman the Caped Crusader 2. Mm-hmm. Okay? You got the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Netflix and I saw that shit. Iron Man, Hulk, and...
Hold on, we're going to get to that. We got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah.
Now, this is the year of Marvel.
Are you talking about shows?
No, these are movies. These are just movies. Then we've got Logan, which we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You got the Wonder Woman movie coming out. You've got Spider-Man Homecoming.
Wow.
You got Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, wow.
And that's a great storyline.
Wow.
You've got the Justice League movie. You've got Bloodshot coming out, which I was surprised about that. That's one of the more, I want to say it's Valiant comics.
Yeah, okay.
And then you got and that's just to name a couple of them. And then, like you said, Marvel is it's tearing it up.
Yeah. Marvel.
But DC's right behind them.
Yeah.
I mean...
Marvel came later, too. That's what's funny.
Exactly.
Like, after DC.
It's weird.
But the predecessor, or not the predecessor, but, The Apprentice always tries to be better than the predecessor.
It's just crazy that there's so much lined up.
Mm.
And I mean, I'm probably over-exaggerating because a lot of these are probably going to be those small, movies that never get on there.
Comics.
Yeah, it's going to be the small stuff. But here's the thing. This is the perfect time to be a nerd. It is.
Yeah. It's like the monolith of the moment in time.
Exactly.
Because that's the way of the future. Everything's going digital. The top job right now is to be a programmer or a code analyst or a website programmer or... Yeah, dude. That's this top job in the whole...
It's crazy,
World. Top job in the world.
I mean, that's what I'm getting at, is that we're at a point in time where people like us are finally...
start learning code. Everyone. If you're 15 years old right now, sitting there listening to this, and you're in high school right now...
Why are you listening to this? This is age leveled. Shame on your parents.
No, not even that. If you are listening to this, dude, or chick,
or whatever you want to identify
learn
as.
CSS, learn Java, learn HTML, get in that Scratch class, and learn it. Learn it. Learn it right now, front to back. And by the time you graduate high school, you'll be gangster right out of the gate. You'll be able to get a job quickly.
See, now we sound like we're harping on people.
Well, dude, it's if these kids right now do that, right now, they do that. They have classes right now.
I know.
In their programs that teach them Scratch and CSS and C#. And
this is what I'm getting at.
Don't take it for granted.
Do it. This is what I'm getting at. This is one of the reasons why we took that time off for the podcast.
Yeah.
is because of the fact of we got so centralized on something that we almost got to a point where we couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at. Because obviously we're always going to fall back into comics.
Yeah.
But at heart, we're just nerds.
Yeah, dude. Like, it all started with, you know, not necessarily knowing code or how to do binary or how to, you know, get your soldering iron and modify a freaking Atari cartridge. You know, that's how they used to do it back in the day. It was like, get all engineering about it. Like, there was dudes, I know dudes right now that are like 40 years old, like older than us, that know how to manipulate the code in those old Atari cartridges.
Well, yeah. And that's a big thing. But that's what I'm getting at right now, is that we want to expand who we are.
Yeah.
Because of the fact of, we got to a point where we started typecasting, and we had, I don't know about you, but one of the best episodes that we had is when we had Marty on, and we sat there, and we just talked about, like, just the idea of the cultural differences.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
You know? And that was, but at the same time, the similarities were there, too. And that's the biggest thing I'm getting at, is that, as of recently, I want to expand more with having guests on here and talking about views from different perspectives and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
We've actually got a lineup of people that we're going to be interviewing.
We just had that hiatus.
Yep. So
to really, like,
to revamp everything.
Yeah.
You know?
And take care of stuff, but yeah, and to revamp.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, is that now we're at that point where we need to... Yeah. They're just... Holidays were pretty rough.
Yeah.
So, you know. But, new year, new us.
Yeah.
Full on head, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, next Thursday, we're going to be doing an interview with a really awesome guest.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a couple other ones down the road, and it's going to start being... It's going to be start... I don't know how to explain it.
I don't want to say it, but, you know, cut us some slack. We're trying to knock it out of the park in the first 2 months, not even knowing what we're doing.
Exactly. And I mean...
And we're trying really hard, and we're like, holy crap, we kind of don't know what we're doing. And we had to take a little break, reassess, think about it, and we got all this stuff thrown at us right out of the gate, pretty much, and we're like, holy cow, like, and we kind of didn't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. We got stuck in a system... Yeah, we got stuck in a system where we got contacted right off the bat for a sponsor after the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't say the sponsors' names, but, like, it got to a point where we kind of got nervous about it.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that then we sat down and we talked about, do we
like, we have to start taking this seriously.
Yeah, exactly. And then we sat down and we go, okay, should we pull back our tones with stuff? I mean, should we step away from this subject? Should we, you know, censor ourselves a little bit more? Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is that we're where we sat normally.
Yeah.
You know, because, come on, every podcast I have to put, you know, a label on there saying that there's certain languages that we use.
Yeah, because we're just 2 kids from a cow town with foul mouths, dude.
We're not even a cow town.
Well, yeah, we are. Like, it ain't.
We're Corn City. Corn City, mofo.
Well,
we're more corn than cow. You have to agree with that.
Well, that's the same thing.
Hey, you agree. Agree right now, Cody.
I agree.
That's right. You know what's going on. We talked about this.
FFA. Oh,
you might have been part of FFA.
Never.
That was all about TNA.
I spent a lot of my time on I-55.
Local jokes no one will get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, crazy thing.
Those are already being made in book form.
Yeah, just some crazy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, it has been.
But we're back on track. We're back here. We're recording. obviously we're recording a couple weeks in advance, so you're going to see like an influx of episodes, which is going to be cool for you guys.
It's coming back. It's going to seem like we abandoned ship, but
we didn't.
We didn't, and sure, I hope we don't lose listeners.
I think we'll gain our listeners back, plus we're going to get some new listeners.
Yeah, hopefully. It's just we had so much crazy stuff going on. It's just holidays and like sponsors.
Well, we didn't want the podcast
jobs changing. Vinny changed a job. I'm changing a job right now.
Yeah, and
I've been trying to work on my portfolio, try to work on finding a job, a better job than I have, because it's 4 years now and I still am not paying anything on my student loans. So it's kind of crazy. Like, we started doing this. I came to Vinny the day I had my art show, the local art show, and he showed me stuff. We explained this already once in the first couple podcasts, but on a whim, I was like, hey, dude, what do you do? And then he was like, well, take a look. And then, showed me all his stuff. And I was like, we basically, like, in 5 minutes, were like, let's do a podcast. I don't even remember what was said, but all of a sudden we're doing a podcast, like, the next week.
Yep, and we started out with using one crappy mic.
Yeah.
And then that was the first, like, test episode.
And it turns out he went to a school, too, and went for film.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I'm really explaining this because we're like 20 episodes in now, just in case somebody didn't see it or hear it. And he was doing all the same stuff I did. Pretty much ran through the coals just like I did with stuff, but just film and not animation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome that we connected that day. I was like, oh my God. Like, I thought there was no hope in finding anyone whatsoever in my shoes at all. And on a whim, I was like, maybe somebody down here, maybe. And then turns out somebody did, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I'm immediately gravitating towards this person. And we already knew each other, so that was even better. Just haven't talked in like 20 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, there's a lot. There's
like,
a lot.
That's not even. That's like winning the lottery. Like, that's not even.
And then
that's why I was hesitant at first too. I was like, really?
Same here. That was my same thought. Was like, after that day, it was kind of sitting there going, "Are we gonna do this? Is this really gonna happen?
I was like, really?
Is it really gonna happen? Like, or is this gonna be like everybody else?
Like Vinny from 20 years ago did the same thing I did. Like,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like one of those things where it's like, is he telling me the truth? Like, that's how I felt. And I was like, all right. I'm like, well, we'll try a podcast. And that's what we did. And now we're here, like, so many episodes in going, all right. Yeah, I mean, the best part about this is that our skills...
Yeah.
Our skills have nothing to do with podcasts, with the exception of, like
you
audio
know
editing.
The stuff that I'm doing. And
yeah.
It's like, what? I can't even believe it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. But
we kept each other off each other's radar for good reason.
Exactly.
Stop. For this moment.
Exactly. It's like, all right, now we can sit and talk.
Like, it's almost like it's instinct. Like, this has happened before in another life in Glasgow, England, with like two people from two different continents, like coming together after so many years.
It's like when you get that one band that like meets up and starts playing together and they've never played before, but it's the best thing ever. Except for we're both playing bass, apparently.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a band that just played bass guitars like 4 guys playing bass guitars?
Yeah. Just stupid probability or like
I know it's crazy.
Stupid luck. Like, what? Really? Okay.
It's just it's so crazy. But here's the thing about all of that. It gave us perspective at the same time because of the fact of we decided that the podcast is a good podcast.
Like, I played wiffle ball with this kid when we were like 7, and he did the exact same thing I did. Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep. In an area that's completely dead technologically.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
One of the other reasons why that, we haven't been around is not only did we get new jobs, but I took a hiatus to do some writing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working with another artist. I've been cheating on you, Cody.
Oh, sweet. You're going to replace me tomorrow.
No. You'll always be part of the podcast.
Nice.
But you've got a lot of things going on, so I've been talking to a couple of different artists, and I'm trying to work on getting one of my projects that I was working on. It's the one I showed you. I'm not going to say too much about it.
No. Yeah.
But I'm trying to get that illustrated in a better way than what I've done myself because of the fact of you've seen my work. I mean, my work is subpar. I mean, like, it's not bad, but it's
not bad.
Exactly. But it's not well, it's the whole thing is that none of it is ever more than like 20 minutes of drawing.
Yeah, you got to put a little more time in there.
Exactly, because of the fact that I don't have the patience to draw for more than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's where I get with things. You
got to do a lot, dude. You got to like draw it once, draw like a rough draft. Then you got to draw over that again.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
You got to draw over that again,
See?
and again, and again, and
no,
again.
I don't have time for that.
You can't do it at once.
I ain't got time for that.
Nobody does that. Not even Greg Capullo. Greg Capullo at least does it twice.
I know. So, I understand that my limitation is based on my, actual attention.
Yeah.
Because I have ADHD, so, like, sitting down for 20 minutes and drawing something, that's an accomplishment.
Even the masters, dude. I guarantee
I know.
you, like,
I know, but I only
they,
draw.
Like, sketched it out lightly with, like, gray before they did anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
They didn't all just do it all at once.
I know, but that's how I draw my stuff, and that's how I've always done it. And like I don't care
if the masters didn't do that. How are you gonna do that?
That's the whole
all
point.
At once.
That's what I'm getting at. Is that I just drew what I wanted to draw, and now I'm gonna give it to somebody who will actually sit there and go, okay, let's flesh this character out, and they'll make it look nice, and then we can get on with it. But I really like the storyline that I have in it. I think it's a really good storyline. So
it is a good storyline.
Exactly. So I'm gonna push it forward, and that's what I'm gonna be doing, and that's why I've been.
You're a good writer. It's just
you hear that? You hear that, DC? I'm a good writer. Let me write Batman.
Let me write that. No.
Hey, I could write a great Batman story.
We need to wind up on the Smodcast. Is what we
Oh
need
man,
to do.
yeah. Kevin Smith, you're like my hero. So
you're all of our heroes, dude.
This is between
He'd
me and
like
Kevin.
that. He like his ego
Hey,
stroked once in a while.
This is between me and Kevin. Hold on, you shh. Just shh. Kevin, I know you're probably not listening right now, but if you ever hear this, I have all your comics that you've written, and I think it's amazing writing. So let me help you write you the last ending of your Batman, because that would be amazing. Thank you, Kevin Smith. I love you.
He's a hero, dude.
Dude, seriously though, he's like, oh man, his Batman comics, like the two stories that he's written so far. Oh my god.
Wait, he still writes?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's been on a hiatus. And let's see if I can write him. Let's see. At the real Kevin Smith. Hold on. When are you going to finish Batman?
Sign it. I ran out of things to say.
Your best friend, Vincent. I've ran out of things to say. Podcast.
Is that too advertising? Trying to advertise on his. He'll probably flag it.
I don't care. I just tweeted at him.
Is that not professional?
It's about to be. I can also tweet.
Oh, let's see it. Cock in the walk. It's about to be professional.
Hey. If he responds, he responds.
Exactly. That's all you can
If
do.
he does, I'm gonna scream like a little girl.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude.
I could also at Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, dude, Neil Gaiman.
I know. The Sandman, dude.
Sandman. Be like at Neil Gaiman. When you gonna let me write Sandman, Neil Gaiman? No, I could never write like Neil Gaiman.
Neil
That guy.
Gaiman. Wait, who's the other guy?
Oh my
Dave
god.
McCoy. Dave McKay.
Oh
Wait,
yeah.
what was his name?
Dude, there's a lot of good ones. Hold on, let's see if we can find Stanley.
Didn't Dave McKay do Sandman? The art?
Sandman's art?
Or wait, Dave McKay. Search Dave McKay.
Okay, hold on. You're getting to the part of the podcast when we're searching and looking things up? That's something that we usually don't do.
I know, but I'm sorry, guys. We just have to confirm. Dave McCoy, Dave McKay, Dave McCoy.
Dave McKean.
Dave McKean. That's
Yes.
the one. Did he do Sandman?
It looks like, yep, he did.
Yeah. Told you. God.
Well, you were calling him McKean or McCain or something.
McKay.
Yeah, you were calling him McKay.
I like Ian McKay, and that's the dude from Fugazi and Egg Hunt and
Dude, Sandman was such a good storyline too. It was messed up, but it was good.
I liked the art a lot. That's all I liked about it. I was like, holy shit, this is good stuff.
Well, you know that they're bringing it back.
Really?
Yeah.
That Sandman art was, man, that was good.
Yeah, they're doing a resurrection. And this is weird because of the fact of, if you remember, Sandman was actually, like, ended. Like, they actually had a plausible ending.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, alright, well, you know. So, that's just crazy. But we're gonna talk about something that's gonna be really crazy here in a second. There are a couple of trailers that have coming up. Mm-hmm. So, new year, new genre. We've been giving DC a lot of love. A lot of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's Marvel's turn.
Marvel.
So, Cody,
Yeah.
hit us with some history on Marvel.
Marvel, from what I understand, started out with Martin Goodman. He started like a little podunk publishing company back in the 30s. And I can't remember exactly what it started out as, but then he had a seal of approval. It was Red Dot magazine. And he called it Uncanny Tales. And the first ever, after a while of the Uncanny Tales, I think the first ever Marvel Comics, after it turned into Marvel Comics from Uncanny Tales, I think the first issue ever was, on the cover was the Human Torch and Subterranean Man or something like that. And it started out with that, and he had like one other dude, some German dude, and like it started with a couple of those books, and then they eventually, fast forward, they brought on what everybody knows. They brought on Lee and Kirby like right around the same time, and they brought them both on as writers, or I think they just brought them on as writers, and then eventually Lee became an artist, and Kirby became an artist, and they turned it into Marvel Comics, and then it went bank, and then it shut down, or maybe it shut down before it was Marvel once, and then like it got brought back up, and then it was Marvel, and then it like blew up, and I don't know, I guess the rest is history from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what I got from it. Like, and then they started bringing on more artists. They started them out as writers, and then they're artists, but yeah, that's basically like how it went down.
That's some crazy stuff, dude.
Yeah, I just think that's crazy. Like, a lot of people think it started with like Stan Lee, and that's not the case. But like, I don't know. Do they still use that red dot? Like, they still do?
Yeah.
When it was Red Dot Magazine?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's the base history of it, right?
Yeah.
And as we know it now, it's rarely goes around Stan Lee and Marvel being owned by Disney now, which is kind of crazy.
It's by Disney.
So, here's the thing that we're getting at. Because of the fact of, we were talking earlier, it's been the year of the nerds, right? Year of the nerds. There's a couple movies that are coming out, like some amazing movies. So, let's talk about Logan. So, you've seen the first trailer of Logan, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw one when I went to see Why Him.
You saw what?
Why Him? The one with James Franco. He dates that daughter. Yeah. This is a great movie.
You won't go see comic book movies, but you'll go see YM.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man.
I like comedy. Honestly, I've always liked stand-up. I like my comics and I like my stand-up. And I've liked stand-up a lot.
Okay. So, here's this. Now, Logan comes out on March 3rd. So, I want you to watch the trailers. It won't turn. Just keep it up and down. So he's going to listen to the trailer because he hasn't seen it yet.
Whoa. The guy himself's an X-Men fan.
Yes.
Whoa. And he's the girl.
Oh, you'll find out. She's supposed to be part of the Weapon X program. She's got the claws like Wolverine. Who is she? Come on, Cody. You know who she is.
Yeah, she's the... Right?
Well, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the chick Wolverine.
It's gonna be awesome.
It is gonna be awesome.
So, we got Logan coming out. Then we have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers coming out. So we have an X-Men and a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, both of which were on Fox in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, wow. They're making a, like...
It's a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger live action. Is it
going to be, like, good?
From the trailers, it looks pretty decent.
It's not going to be, like,
not spandex.
Terrible?
No, it looks like pretty cool armor there. They got some
even
real
the movies
armor.
In the 90s were terrible.
Hey. The Power Ranger movie when they became, like, ninjas, that was perfectly fine.
Like, even the show.
Hey.
No,
hey.
It wasn't. It
was perfectly fine.
We ate it up.
I know, I was going to say. It was fine for the time. Nowadays, that wouldn't pass.
No, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, but no.
Yeah, see, we become jaded in our old age.
Yeah.
It's sad. But, I mean, it's crazy that this new year there's so much stuff going on.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers, dude.
Totally going to see that by myself.
All by myself.
Power Rangers.
Don't wanna be all by myself. Right. Seriously. If I sing another line, we have to pay somebody.
No. We don't want to do that.
No. So, other than that, the format's changing with the channel. Yeah. We're also going to be working on setting up something for our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we got to get past the hump that we hit.
Yep. So, we might be animating our podcast. Like, yeah. I know something Cody doesn't know.
Oh my goodness.
It's like when he was like, I don't think we're going to be able to get that sponsorship. And I was like, hold my beer.
Watch this.
Hey, man. I do what I have to.
Watch this.
Watch this. Hold my beer. Hold my beer, Cody.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer, Cody.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to jump this ridge on this four-wheel. Don't you mean four-wheeler?
I'm going to jump this son bitch.
We jumping the shark. Yeah.
Hold my beer, I'm gonna jump this son of a bitch.
But there's nothing to jump over. That's what you think.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Oh, man. So, anyway, cool things happening. Some amazing stuff. We gotta get back into the format because of the fact that this is our first time back, and we're kind of trailing Cody.
Yeah, we are.
So, that being said, Cody, where are we at with that project?
As soon as I can get the dress
Uh-huh.
to simulate,
Uh-huh.
I can move on.
Yep. So how much
Because
longer?
it's bothering me.
How much
that
longer?
I want the dress to go and just
Not
suck in there and do it.
So here's the question: how much longer do you think you're gonna need to finish it?
A while.
A while.
A while.
A while. Cody, you're actually weird.
Wait a minute.
So you don't have a timetable now?
I still have to unwrap it. I still have to rig the thing. I have to make morphers. I still have to make morphers for the face, like 4 or 5 morphers for the face. I have to take the head and fucking make all these different expressions, and I have to make a controller. I have to make a controller for the face. This is not overnight stuff.
It could be.
It's really not. This is all different stuff that a team of people do. I'm trying to do it all myself. I'm trying to do a model, texture it, rig it, make morphers, skin it, which is attaching it to the rig, animate it, render it, all kinds of shit. All shits.
Well, once you get
all
past render, it's done.
All the shits. Like, I'm doing it all.
So you got
all
the
of it.
shits.
All.
You got the shits. So
doing all the
So you
things.
got diarrhea is what you're telling me.
Yeah. All of it. This is like a multi-person thing, and you have to do it like all yourself.
How long do you think it would have took you by yourself?
If the dress didn't fuck up, I would have had it done by now.
And how long have you been working on the dress?
Like 2 months. Or no, not just the dress. The dress, I tried in 2 days, but it won't do it.
So how long did it take to get to the point with your...
The dress, like a month, because I was working.
Cody, I gave you to the end of the month.
Dude.
We are 3 months down the road, and you're worried about a dress. And you're like, I just started.
No, I did not just start.
You did just start.
If I can get the dress to work, I can move on to the rig and then move on to the fucking...
Crazy? The diarrhea? You can move on to the diarrhea. Gotcha. So, how many more months from here?
Not months. Like...
Cody, realistically, with you working, how much you've been doing with the other projects, because I'm not calling you out on not getting it done in a month because a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
So we know that, like, you usually have, in the last 3 months, you usually have, out of those months, maybe 12 hours dedicated to it.
Yeah. Probably.
So, I mean, technically, you've only been working maybe a week altogether on it, if you crunched all your time together.
Yeah, probably.
So, how much longer, with your current schedule, do you think until it's done?
Probably another month. If I can fix the problem with the dress, like, in the next few days, probably like a month.
Okay. So here's a new challenge for you. It's okay. You're going to like this challenge. Because it doesn't put a parameter on time.
Okay.
From this point on, you must record what you're doing.
Okay.
And every time we do a podcast, you bring that recording in.
Okay.
And we will have a segment at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
That we will pop the video up, and you and I will narrate what you're doing through it.
Okay. Good.
And then we'll post that to our YouTube.
So you can see me fuck around with a goddamn problem for 4 hours.
So we can narrate it through. That way,
4 hours.
That way people can see the process, and we can narrate the what your time schedule was during those times. So people can see how long you're actually working on it.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a cool segment.
Because then I run into problems like that, and I get fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking pissed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I'm like, and I don't want to even look at it for like a week or so.
Yeah. I know that feeling. I was in that work. I know that feeling.
I'm like, I hate you right now, 3DS Max. I hate you.
Yep. So, that's what we're going to be doing now. Because we want to add more content.
I can record progress.
Exactly. And then we'll narrate it after the fact, after each podcast.
Cody's terrible, Cody's terrible, Cody's terrible, Cody's terrible. Oh,
and now we see the Cody. Got some splaining to do. That's just crazy.
What are you looking at?
I'm just thinking. Just thinking. It's gonna be so beautiful, Cody. No. Currently, we're not doing anything else. Because of the fact of, we ran out of things to say.
Yeah, ran out of things to say.
Yeah. We ran out of things to say.
Truly have ran out of things to say.
So, bye guys. We'll see you soon.
See you.